I did not use foundation or concealer to achieve this look. Hi guys, it's Glam by Sophie here. I did not use foundation or concealer to achieve this look, and you can see how shocked my model is when she saw her face. If you like to see how I achieved this look, keep watching. My model has a dry skin, so I'm going to be prepping her face. After cleansing her face, I used my serum on her face, on the entire part of her face, and I went in with my moisturizer on all parts of her face as well. Then I used an hydrating primer on all parts of her face except the under eye, applied some lip moisturizer, my primer spray, and then I went into the skin work. So for the skin work, like I said, I didn't use any foundation. What I did was using the knowledge of the color theory to get our exact skin match. Now, if you know what color theory is basically a simple study of how colors work together, and then the color wheel comprises of 12 colors, which includes the primary colors, the secondary colors, and the tertiary color. And of course, you know that in your color wheel, there are colors that complement each other in the color wheel. So I basically worked with 3 primary colors to achieve her skin tone. You know, when you mix the 3 primary colors, when you mix blue, red, and yellow, you get brown. So when you add with white, you get brown, right? So that was what I basically did. If you notice, I added blue, I added yellow, and added a little bit of red and then white, and I kept on blending and color correcting in the process. That means I kept on adding more yellow and I kept on adding more red when it was necessary, because I was trying to cancel it out. When the red is too much, I add green to cancel out. When the yellow is too much, I add purple to cancel it out. And when the orange is too much, I add a little bit of blue to cancel it out. And I did that basically using the RYB formula, and I just kept on blending and blending and blending. Yes, what I use is my flash palette. This is a flash palette that has my primary colors and my secondary colors in it, and I just kept on blending, mixing it. Like I said, I really did not use any foundation for this look, and it was much easier because my model has a flawless skin. She doesn't really have blemishes on her skin, so it was easier for me to do this and achieve the kind of coverage that was suitable for her skin. After which I went in with foundation to just keep blending with more of my colors. Then for my blush, I used a little bit of red brush because I wanted that redness. And then for the concealer, I did not use concealer. Like I said, I also used my flash palette. So yeah, I just used my yellow and I tinted out the yellow with a little bit of white, and then I added a tiny bit of red to it just to give you like a little bit of color. And then I blended it out as my concealer, because you know the concealer has to be about 2 shades lighter than our actual skin tone. So yes, I used my flash palette as my concealer, and it was very interesting, I must say, because this is my first time of trying this out. And then after that, I went into the normal process of setting you know, this concealer with my powder, or setting the flash palette, whatever it is, with my finishing powder. After which I went in with you know, setting powder to give it that coverage that I needed. That was more. So if you really do not understand much about colors, it's just, you know, being able to understand the relationship between colors and then understand how to combine them to create the kind of results that you need. You need to get familiar with this color in order to achieve it. I've always been a color blender, but I've not really like practically used it to achieve an entire full look like I did here in this video. The RYB formula I talked about is just the red, yellow, and the blue formula. You can get pretty much any color by mixing colors together. And when you mix the red, yellow, and the blue in, you know, let's say equal proportion or lesser than equal proportions, and then you add white, you get a brown shade. And you know what happens when you get brown? You need to either tint it out to get a lighter shade of brown by adding white, or you shade it out to get a darker shade of brown by adding black. That is just the logic. And then when you do that and you see that, oh, maybe the whatever you mix has so much redness, all you need to do is to add a little bit of green to cancel out the redness. Or if it is too orange, you add a little bit of blue to cancel out the orange undertone. Or if it has a yellow undertone, you add purple to cancel it out. So it was very easy for me to work on the skin, because I was just correcting until I achieved what I wanted. And yeah, look at the skin looking all, you know, even like as if I used foundation. I went through the entirety of the process, you know, the brows. Of course, I did the contour and all of that with powder. Then I went into the brows and the eyeshadow. For the eyeshadow, I decided to do a monochromatic look, you know, using just one color in different shades to form this beautiful green hues, and that was what I settled for. So I used a light shade of green, a medium shade of green, and a darker shade of green. You know the rule that your lighter shade should always come first, then the darker shade should always come last, right? So I put the lighter shade of green in the inner corner, and then I use a medium shade of green in the middle corner, and then the darker shade of green in the outer corner. And I did the slanting method, you know, not the usual eyeshadow placement. I just did the slanting method, which means I placed the eyeshadow in an angled manner or a slant manner. I don't know. Then I did the same colors on the lower eyelid, yeah, and I just wanted him the look to be colorful a bit, so that was why I did the monochromatic eyes working with green. So monochromatic is simply using one color in different shades, so you can do monochromatic with purple, blue, pink, whatever color. Just make sure you have them in different shades. It can be, you know, monochromatic 2 shades, monochromatic 4 shades, or whatever, but this one I did here is the monochromatic 3 shades, and I absolutely love it. So yeah, I did the waterline, the lashes, and yeah, went through with the rest part of the video. But basically the essence of this video was to talk about color wheel. I have a thing for colors, I have a thing for mixing and all of that, so it's safe to say that I have mastered the art of, you know, color theory. I mastered the art of color wheel as a makeup artist. And if you'll be willing to learn more, I have videos on my YouTube channel that you can watch. Just search for Glam by Sophie on YouTube. Glam by Sophie, GLAMBYSOPHI on YouTube. Scroll down and then you see, you know, detailed videos where I talked about color theory, I talked about color wheel. And if you'll be needing more videos like this, more tutorials like this, leave a comment here on this post so that I can, you know, shoot more videos like this for you. And if you have any questions as well, you can also drop those questions here. So you are things that you need to take note of when it comes to colors. You take note of intensity, you take note of saturation, you take note of value, you take note of tint, you take note of shade, you take note of tones. There is a lot actually to talk about, and yeah, maybe in our next video we'll talk about it. But now this is the final look of this video. As you can see, so smooth, so beautiful.